with my fingers. Oh, there's a lot on my forehead. Just spread that around a bit. Ugh. Jesus. So today I'm going to be testing a whole load of new makeup that I've got. Most of it is brand new, I haven't tried it before. A couple of these things I have tested once or twice before, but they are still pretty new, so I'm going to be continuing to test them and use them in my full face today. So firstly I have the Pore Perfecting Primer from Revolution. It says Velvet Priming Balm with applicator included. Use the spatula included to apply the primer to the face and blend, creating a smooth skin canvas and increasing makeup longevity. We shall see. So it looks like this when you open it up, and it's got the spatula on top. So I'm just going to scoop some out like this. Don't even know how much I need. I'm just going to blend it into my face with my fingers. I did think about using a beauty sponge for this, but it does seem to be melting in and feels easy to blend with my fingers. Oh, there's a lot on my forehead. Just spread that around a bit. It does smell a little bit funny. Maybe it's just because it's not fragrance. That was really easy to blend into my skin with my fingers, it just melts in. I did do a bit of a shopping spree on Revolution's website, so I do have a few Revolution products that are quite new that I'm still testing. That is the first time that I have used that primer. It does feel quite oily, to be honest, but hydrating, so we'll see how my foundation applies. For my foundation, I'm just going to be using my HD Brows High Definition Foundation. This one I have had for a while now. I've used it a handful of times, but I am really liking it. It's a really thick formula. Then I'm just going to take my Real Techniques complexion sponge, which I've dampened, and just apply that to my face. You may be noticing that this is quite a bit darker than my natural skin tone because it's quite hard to order your foundation shade online, so I chose one that was too dark, but we're going to make it work. I do really like the full coverage formula of this foundation. It is thick, but it is full coverage and does apply nicely. I actually heard about this foundation from Ella Ravenscroft. She has a few YouTube videos of her own, and she spoke about this foundation in her daily makeup routine, I think it was, video. And then in the video that she was doing with Molly May, I think Molly May also recommended it. I'd say this actually has like a demi-matte finish to it. It's got a bit of a dewy look, but not too dewy. So I've got another Revolution product now. It is a concealer. It's the Conceal and Fix Ultimate Coverage Concealer with Salicylic in light beige. I have actually used this a couple of times already. It is quite a thick formula, so it's quite solid, but it just sort of melts when you put your finger in it, so that's how I've been using it. So you just get a little bit like, and then tapping it under my eyes. And what I have been really enjoying about this is how brightening it is when you blend it out. So I just tap it in. We'll probably put a bit on my T-zone as well. Put in the middle of the forehead. It is a really thick consistency, but it does blend with a wet beauty sponge. That's how I've been applying it anyway. So that concealer is not my favourite type of concealer in terms of applying and the consistency. I just tend to prefer the doe foot applicator ones, but what I do really like about it is the brightening effect that it has. It is quite good coverage as well. I'm just going to put a little bit more under my eyes. What I do really love about Revolution products though is how affordable they are, and they're all cruelty free, and I do really try and stick to cruelty free makeup. I understand there are some really good products out there that aren't cruelty free and good brands, but I just try to stick to cruelty free ones. So next up I have a setting powder. This one is from the brand Beauty Bakerie, and I just thought their whole branding and packaging and everything was so adorable because it's all themed around baking. So obviously the setting powder is called Flower and it says better not bitter, which is really sweet. And this shade is called Oats, so even the shade names are themed accordingly. Unfortunately I threw away the packaging, but this was actually in a little flower bag, if you know what I mean, like a paper bag. I'll insert a picture so you can see, but it was just so cute and I just kind of fell in love with the packaging and the idea and everything. I just loved, but this product actually also had some really good reviews, so I wanted to test it out. So it has a plastic stopper. Ooh. And it's got a little protective seal. So I'm just going to tap some of that into the lid. And then I'm just going to apply that to my face. So that definitely mattified everything, but I don't know if I put a bit too much on or if it was the way that I applied it, but it has gone quite crusty and patchy looking under my left eye especially. I'm wondering if it's the combination of the concealer with this powder. Maybe the formulas don't quite work considering the concealer was really thick and sticky, maybe because that's the areas where it's gone wrong. So to be fair, I have tried to fix it a little bit by putting a bit more concealer over the affected areas and blending it in with my still wet beauty sponge, but I think you can still sort of see the texture of where it went wrong, but it's better than it was before. So that didn't 100% go as planned with that setting powder, but I will continue to test it and hopefully like it. So next I actually have another Revolution product, but this one I didn't buy myself, it was actually gifted to me. This is the cheek kit. It's called Don't Hold Back highlighter and bronzer kit. So this is what it looks like inside. I think you have 2 more sort of highlighter shades and then 2 more sort of bronzy shades. Although to be honest with you, they all look pretty shimmery, so I don't know which ones are meant to be highlighters and which ones are meant to be bronzers. This one obviously looks like a highlighter, but we'll give it a go. These 2 shades do look very gold toned, and then this one's more like a reddy toned one, and this one is more champagne. So I'm going to go for probably one of these shades for my bronzer, see how it goes, and then try this one for my highlight. Ooh, I quite like that. It's definitely very glowy and quite subtle. Subtle in terms of like being a dark bronzy shade. It's quite a subtle bronzy shade. I do like it, but I don't know. I think it's sort of too subtle in tone and then it's quite glowy. I'm going to try putting a bit more of the slightly darker goldy tone one on. Whoa! Oh my god. That definitely shows up more. That's really dark. Probably a bit too dark. I'm going to try and even it out a little bit by applying light on the other side. So I think the bronzer was just a bit too... I mean, if you're going for something glowy and on holiday, I think it would be nice, but I think there's just a bit too much sheen to it. I don't know. I think I prefer my bronzers a bit more matte. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to this bronzer that I picked up when I did my big Revolution spend online recently. It is the Revolution Pro Nap bronzer. It's just a really nice matte bronzy shade. It's quite warm toned, but I've just been really loving it. It blends out really nicely. So I'm just going to dip into the lightest one as the highlight, see how that goes on my cheekbones. Ugh. Jesus. Ooh. It's very gold, but really pretty. Yeah, the issue is with it being gold is that from the front it does cast a dark sort of browny shade, but it is pretty though. Some on my nose, brow bones. For eyeshadow, I actually have this palette that I've been using as a mirror this whole time. It's the Profusion Cosmetics Mixed Metals Glam palette. I haven't actually heard of this brand before, but I got given this as a gift. It does say it's cruelty free on the back, so that's a win. Inside it looks like this. You've got the matte black, a matte brown, a lot of shimmery shades, and then a matte beige shade in the top. These two are shimmers. Yeah, it looks really pretty. I think I might try and start off with these neutral shades and then go in with one of the more shimmery shades and maybe deepen it up with the black. So we'll see. So with my brush I'm going to dip into a bit of this, quite a lot of fallout, shade called Classic. Just put that in my crease. It's a really nice warm toned brown, and same on the other side. It's blending out really nicely. Then I think I'm going to deepen it up a little bit with the darker shade called Rich. So they blended out really easily and nicely, which I'm happy about. Now I'm going to go in with one of the shimmery shades. I might actually swatch a couple of these so you can see how nice the shimmers are and the different shades of them. So we've got Superstar, Nimbus, Recharge, and as you can see already they look lovely. They feel really soft and buttery. Topaz. I've just swatched all the shimmers on my hand and actually they're all stunningly pigmented and beautiful. Hopefully you can see they're just all gorgeous. I think I'm going to go for a bit of a mixture of the gold and greeny gunmetal-y shades. I'm going to use my finger because I think that's the best way to apply these. Ooh, that's so pretty. Wow. So I've just put the gold shade all over my lid and it looks really pretty catching the light. I'm just going to go into the outer corners with a bit of the more greeny shade. It actually looks kind of silver, though it did look sort of greenish, like it had greeny gold reflex on my hand. Then I'm just going to put a little bit of the darker, more gunmetal sort of shade on the very outer corners, sort of as a bit of a transition. I'm just going to go in with my brush and blend that out. so it's sort of more seamless. Well, I don't think blending was a good idea because it's taken away quite a lot of the shine, so I'm just going to go back in with a bit more of the gold on my finger. These shades are very pigmented, so you definitely don't need a lot, and I am learning that. I am going for a smoky Cleopatra look. So anyway, I'm just going to run some of the matte shades under my eyes, blend it out to kind of mimic what I did in the first steps. I do think the combination brings out my eye colour quite nicely. So overall I thought that was a really pretty palette. The colours are stunning and pigmented. I just need a bit more practice, I think. I'm going to be trying this liquid matte eyeliner from NYX or NYX, however you want to say it. This is a product that I haven't used at all before. I just saw the reviews are really good, so I'm trying it out. So it looks like this. Really skinny tip, which is good, and looks like quite a wet consistency, which I like as well because it means it's not going to dry out halfway through drawing the line. So I just did my liquid eyeliner off camera quickly. It's by no means perfect, but I did love the skinniness of the applicator and how wet it was, so it was quite easy, it just went on quite smoothly, and it's lovely and matte black, so I really enjoyed that. Lastly, for eyes, I'm just going to use the Mascara Revolution by Revolution, and I'm not a huge, well, I like it, but it's very thick and clumpy and quite sticky. It does work, it does the job, but I think there are other mascaras that I prefer better than this. I must say I do like how visible it makes your eyelashes look because of how much volume and clumpiness in a way that it gives them. And that's my mascara applied. As you can see, the lashes are quite thick and chunky, but that's what that mascara is. It's quite a thick formula, and yeah, I like it though. Then I'm just going to put a bit of the 24-hour brow setter by Benefit through my eyebrows because that's all I really do to them at the moment. I find that this just makes them look nice and bushy and fluffy, and I just like a natural eyebrow at the moment. Just sort of makes all the eyebrow hairs stick nicely in the right direction that you want them to go in. I guess I naturally have quite bushy eyebrows. I mean, they could do with filling in probably, but I'm just lazy. Lastly, I've got this, which is a matte lipstick set, and I was given this as a gift, and it's by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I've never seen this before. Maybe it's quite a popular product, but it's new to me. And I think you get 1, 2, 3, 4 lipsticks in here, so I'm excited to see what's inside. On the back it says you get coconut, orange blossom, lychee and guava, and it says matte lipstick set, a full pigment lip colour with a smooth ultra matte finish. So let's see. So this is what the component looks like, and by the looks of it it's just a mini little matte lipstick. So as you can see, that's the shape and size. So it is a little mini and you get 4 of them in different shades. Let me choose which one to go for. So I'm going to try the one that I picked out since the eye makeup's quite dark and dramatic, I guess. Then we're going to go for a darker, sort of vampier lip colour. I like that colour. It's sort of a mauvey brown jade, and I think it would go with a lot of looks. It is really creamy and it goes on really nicely. I really like that it's not too drying, because usually matte lipsticks feel really dry and crusty. I do have a bit of dryness around my mouth anyway. It does feel really smooth and creamy, and yeah, I really like the consistency and the colour of that. So actually I think that's a really cute little gift idea, and to receive that was really nice. My brother actually gave it to me, and I think he probably had a bit of help from his girlfriend, because I don't think he would have heard of the brand or would have known to pick it, but it was really lovely of him. And yeah, I just think it's nice to have received a little selection of these matte lipsticks, and you get 2 sort of pinkier colours in there as well, so really like those. So that is the finished look, and thank you for watching if you've made it this far. I really appreciate it. It was a bit of a trial and error, but I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to know what you think. If you'd like to subscribe, that would be amazing. Have the honour of becoming one of my first 10 subscribers. Hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!